Hello everyone, I'm Deb Courtney. Welcome to my YouTube channel today. I'm so glad you're here today. I have been taking a lot of different topics and talking on them the past weeks, and got a lot of different topics to talk about in the weeks and months coming ahead. These have come in basically right out of my journal that I've been doing a big part of my life. And so I thought, well, these probably may be good to share with you. If maybe you can glean something from them, maybe not. Some of this stuff you may have already dealt with. Some you may not have gotten there yet in your journey in your life. You may know of somebody else that may be going through some of this, and you can share it with them. Anyways, so let's start with this one, and I named this topic "Love Yourself." This took place a long time ago with me, but it's still relevant today because it hasn't been that long ago that someone made the comment about me, well, she just loves herself. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. I do love myself, and I do like myself, and I plan on being that way the rest of my life. So let's begin in regards to what I wrote in my journal. Point number one has to do with, I wrote this down, one of the greatest problems many people have today is they just don't think well of themselves. I don't think you have to travel too far to find people who will say something that's derogatory or negative about themselves. You may not encounter it every day of your life, but it happens. And I think, and it really happens really more than it actually needs to happen in regards to somebody saying negative things about themselves. You need to know that there is a phrase that goes something like this. Actually, it's a commandment, and it commands us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So if I didn't love myself or like myself, then I am living counter to what this commandment tells me I should be doing. And I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to like myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to treat myself as good as I possibly can, as good as I have the power within myself to do. And because you know what? I've lived the other way. I don't like it. It doesn't get you anywhere. All it does is get you frustrated, upset, and I'm just not going to live that way. So I am going to, as far as it depends upon me, love myself and like myself. So let's go to the second one. And I wrote down, I said, I learned this truth several years ago when I was having a terrible time getting along with other people. I know you're probably saying, Deb Courtney? Yeah, I did. I had a hard time getting along with others. And people had a hard time getting along with me. You probably experienced the same thing. Okay. And there was a reason, though. The reason I discovered that I had a hard time getting along with others is that I had a hard time getting along with myself. You see, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, done the homework, and found this out. And I just really wasn't, what you might say, digging it. I didn't like living like that. I was miserable. I grew up in an environment that was conducive to the fact that the people that I lived around, I don't think they liked themselves. Arguing and fussing and carrying on and fighting and on and on and on. I don't think they liked themselves. And that kind of parlayed over into my life negative emotions, those negative emotions over and over and over, week in and week out, when I was, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, in my teen years, 15, 16, and I took it into my adult life, into my marriages, until, I finally reached the point that, man, I just don't like this anymore. So I made intentional decisions to change it. I got what you call sick and tired of being sick and tired of not liking myself and or loving myself. So I changed. I intentionally changed it. Now, and you know what? Some days I went screaming and a hollering and trying to, not go there. But the alternative to stay in that mindset of not liking myself was more worse than making the change. So the next point is, if you do not like yourself, you will have a hard time liking anyone else. You may pretend to do so. And you know what? We got a lot of pretenders around. But pretense does not alter the fact. Sooner or later, the truth will come out. It always does, it always has, and it always will. You are what you are. You are what you think. You are what you put in here. And what you see, what you put in there with your eyes. So you have to intentionally make it the change. One of the things I wrote down in my journal is I need to be at peace with my past. That was a big thing for me, to be at peace with my past and how I grew up. Thank God I did have a place of refuge to go to, and I took advantage of that every single time I could. I need to be content with my present. I made that, and that was intentional. That is day by day by day. And I needed to be, and I wanted to be, and made sure about my future. So you have to be at peace with your past, content with your present, and sure about your future. Knowing that it's all in God's hands. I found out you need to be stable, rooted and grounded in the love that God has expressed to us through His Son. That helped me more than anything. And when I became more studious of what being rooted and grounded and stable in the love of God looked like, then each step became easier and easier and easier to see and understand that it is doable. I can live in how I was created and intended to live, and that being liking myself, loving myself, and loving others as my neighbors as I love then I could and can walk in that commandment. Not only to the world, who is my neighbor, because that's what the world preaches now is, let there be love. All we need is love. Love, there's more love songs than any topic than any songs that anybody sings in the whole world. There's more songs about love. So it is undoubtedly a very big deal in this world. So that helped me. And that has propelled me into my future, where I'm at now, to where I can love and like myself and love and like others. That doesn't mean that I love and like everything that I may do in my life. No. Or I love and like everything what somebody says and does in their life. No. We've talked about imperfect people, and we're imperfect, and we have to show kindness and mercy. And I've told you, I like perfect's my favorite word, but it does not exist. You've always got a certain imperfection there, and there's nothing wrong with that in people. And the sooner you find out how to deal with that, the better off you'll be. The last thing I want to write down, to tell you that I have written down in my journal, is that you can give up your mask and your facades. You don't have to pretend anymore that you like yourself or that you love yourself. You don't have to be a phony. You can be free and simply just be yourself, just who you are. Walk in who you are, how you were uniquely created, your uniqueness to who you are, and be honest with yourself. When you understand that, then, and you may, I read those words, Deb. I hear what you're saying, but applying that and really living in the truth of that. Well, let me ask you a question. How's the alternative working out for you? You ain't got to answer that. Just, But when you love yourself and when you like yourself, you walk in freedom. It frees you up. And it also enables you to love others. So, anyways, I hope this helped you out. Leave me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. And go out and make it a great day. Hey, I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you found me. I will see you again next week.